Welcome. We're back for episode 12 of Sorry for My Language. Give it to me. Yeah. This is a special holiday edition for all these people waiting for Santa to give them something that they didn't earn. But there's more to it. So, for those of you all who are here for the first time, Sorry for My Language. It's a show that talks about different aspects of lifestyle that I am feeling in the moment. So, I'm on the main line right now with God, and I'm bringing it straight to you. Straight to you. I didn't even mean to press that button. I'm going to learn these buttons. There we go. Yes. So, Sorry for My Language, episode 12, brought to you first by Grindstone Universal, where progress is made and truth is revealed. GrindstoneUniversal.com brings you the epitome of urban luxury. The epitome. And if you can't read, you think it's called the epitome, but it's not. Sorry for My Language is also brought to you by Smoking Jacket Labs Cologne. On the label, it says SJL, but you really tuck it away in your smoking jacket. Walk in the room, wafting, smelling better than everyone. That'll be on the website soon. That'll be on grindstoneuniversal.com very soon. So once again, if you haven't visited the website, go check it out. It's a wonderful place to play. And now here we are. The issue at hand today is when parenting, how not to raise a pussy boy. Now, some of you all might be taken by these words. Matter of fact, let me get my bleep on. Yeah, see, some of you all might be taken aback when you hear that word with like I could say pussy cat. I could say all types of things, but when I put boy on it, then it becomes a bad word. People become offended. Now, this has, first of all, nothing to do with your sexual preference. No, don't get that messed up. Don't get sensitive on me now. But it has everything to do with the way you behave and what you take on in your personal life. Okay? What you take on in your personal life means the way that you approach things, but most importantly, your accountability. Okay? There is one problem that I have with what I call pussy boys. And YouTube, show me some grace on this because y'all don't need these either in your staff or anything. One who does not. Well, first of all, before we even address them, let's first discuss manhood. Manhood, boyhood, leadership, manship. This is what every tribe needs. This is what every society needs. We need the duality of the man and the woman and the different attributes that they bring to create the human and the human condition. Stay with me. Now, first of all, I was raised in an era where roles were very clear. So I'm not speaking without bias, but I'm trying to. Okay. And then y'all know where I'm from. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Yeah, I'm from Oakland. So we wore all that business on our sleeve. But despite that, not everybody, but most of the black people from California were raised in the South. Why do I say that? What does the South have to do with any of this? Well, life was hard. There were challenges. Most of the challenges were brought about by segregation that was not quite separate but equal, but it was separate and unequal. Now, without the big history lesson, a lot of us were raised by people who went west to seek a better life, with at the forefront of their mind the things that they knew would bring about a better life. Okay? Within that better life standard, there were certain morals that had to be adhered to in order for a family or a community to succeed, starting with the individual. There's a running theme here. It goes self, community, family. I mean, no, self, family, community. So you always got to start with yourself. And then that tends to work itself backwards as well. If one of those things is good, it radiates out and it comes back in, you create a virtuous cycle. If one of those things is poisonous, it goes from within, goes out, and comes back, and you got to deal with it. You got to deal with it, parents. If you raise a soft ass nigga, he's going to be in your basement at 38 asking you what's for dinner. Now, I don't know. I don't know. The single lady was holding your business down. I heard there was a dating problem out here. Heard there was something going on with the dating pool. What is it really? I could be right. I could be wrong. I'm just telling you what I heard. And part of the problem is women can't seem to find a man. And I'm talking about women who got their mind right. Okay. Not a crazy woman who needs several unrealistic things from a man, but women who have their shit relatively together. They're having trouble finding men who are able to provide, willing to protect, and they have manners. I'm not even gonna go through all the shit that I think a man needs to do and a woman needs to do, but niggas don't even be having manners. And they don't, they're not able to fix what they can't pay for, or they're not able to pay for what they can't fix. And they just don't understand like certain things that should be happening as a man, in the absence of a woman, just as a man. Now, this has an origin story. And enough is enough. You want to know what the origin story is? It's mama. And sometimes it's dada. And sometimes it's dada not being around. So what do we get in this? What happens? Well, you get overcompensation. Trying to make a soft landing place in a jagged, cold ass world. Loving your son. This is to the moms, and this is to the dads who fucked around and decided that you had better shit to do than be present. This is what the fuck happens, dad, when your bitch ass is gone. And you might not even be a bitch. Maybe you had to go to the Marines or some shit. I don't know, but this is what happens. Or you might be on the road. You might be a yacht rock star. But when you're not there, quite often, if you and the woman who you procreated with do not have an understanding of how the boy child should be raised, you give this nigga donuts when he want donuts. You tell him he's Hercules, Hercules, Hercules. And nothing is wrong with lying to your son about how great he is. But you got to mix it with this nigga got to earn it. And you don't make him. I got a little anecdote. I love anecdotes. They make the medicine easier to swallow, make the game a little easier to understand. I know somebody who, damn. Listen, I'm just using you as an example. Don't take it personal, but it is true. You should have never told me. But actually, you should have told me because this is my disclaimer. But you should have told me because this is a very teachable moment. Whatever. When the camera's on, it's on and it's real. And I would never lie to y'all. She has a son. Her son is a big person. Like not just a husky motherfucker. So when you're young as a boy and you have size, coaches and other type people they're gonna want to bring you into the sports mix early. So a big boy, what should he do? Man, he hella big. He should play football. Okay. When usually when a boy gets the word early that he should play football, he's playing Pop Warner. He's like really getting it in. And because of the pads and the helmets and the weight and the velocity of young boys, nobody gets hurt. They're not big enough and they're not fast enough to cause enough of a collision for pain to really happen, or like fractures. Like maybe somebody might fall funny and hurt something, but it's not like concussion time. Like it's not like that. It's actually safer than a lot of things because they do have pads. Anyway, back to the story. She decided that she's going to let him play football. Okay, cool. Mistake number one. Numero uno. She went to the practice. Mothers, stay away from places where men make boys men. Because some of the stuff you're going to hear, some of the stuff you're going to see, yeah, that's your baby, but it's not going to be palatable if you got a bag of donuts waiting in the car for him and you want like a soft life. When boys are like 7, they make a change. And that change is, I'm a big boy, I can do shit. Some boys come to that at age 6, just naturally. But then at age 7, when they getting kind of lanky and their face get kind of funny and the teeth hella big, they're small, but they are thinking big. It's like a house cat really has the mind of a lion. You wouldn't know from the outside looking in, but they sit that way. They attack that. That's just how it's the internal thing. And you'd be like, yeah, my body's going to catch up to what I'm doing inside. So moms, you have to respect that. And when I say respect it, I don't mean back off from the little motherfucker, but I'm saying you have to assign accountability. And then if he want to learn how to scramble an egg or make his food, you give him the game on how to do it, and then you start allowing that. Like you let him become a person who could do some shit. And then that comes with consequences, that comes with learning experiences, but let him start rocking that at about age 7. That's not too early at all, especially for the way the boy's thinking. He want to climb fences, he want to do all types of shit. You have to let him. He got to fall down, you can't pick him up. That is not the opposite of love. That is actually getting him out of the Pxssyfication zone. But a lot of you all have never been told this, so I want you to sit with one another and share this vital information. It's true. Now, the boy enters the Pxssyfication zone through several points of entry. The first one with this football practice. In order to play football, you have to abandon there's a certain part of safety that you have to abandon. You have to just say, okay, this is not safe, but I'm going to do it as safely as I can. But I have to turn my self-preservation switch off and run into fools. People going to tackle me. I'm going to fall down. But what's going to happen, they're going to learn how to breathe. They're going to learn several things that you just can't teach them because you can't live in that skin. So she goes to practice. The boys are click-clacking. Now, imagine, they're like 8. So the hits are only so hard. Now, the noises are loud if you ain't never heard those noises. But it ain't no real wreck going on at age 8 because nobody's big enough or fast enough to really tear somebody off at that age and size. So anyway, they're doing drills. Her boy gets smacked. Bow. And what happens? You get smacked, you get up. It could hurt, but rub a little dirt on it. She comes down out the stands. And a lot of loving mothers would. I get it. but you shouldn't, because he's not gonna learn how to pick himself up. Oh man, I'm telling a real story about a real person I know who's really gonna see this. But we discussed this a while ago anyway, so it's not like I'm unearthing like wild secrets. I'm not gonna say no names. But she comes out the stands, which is violation number 2, because violation number 1 was attending practice. You're supposed to pick that nigga up after practice and you go get your damn nails done, talk to your girlfriends, smoke a joint, take a shower, do things that you don't have time to do. And then pick the nigga up at 6. The fuck? You could baby him with dinner if that babying is the thing, shit, whatever. But like, let him be on man time for a split second. Boys need men. Or boys need women who understand that there's a part that they don't feel. And so when you have co-parenting, that's one thing. When you have coaching, that's like a third co-parent. It's a cheat code. You have a third point, and this motherfucker don't really care about the kid's feelings in a way where they're gonna offer him donuts. They care about building the kid. And if the kid loses, they lose. If they win, they win. But that's where you learn lessons. It's communal. That's what we want community for, right? Anyway, to shorten up this anecdote, she comes out the stands, and I can only imagine what this looks like. It totally reminds me of an Adam Sandler movie scene. She says, "What's wrong? Are you all right?" And you can just imagine like the big ass helmet on the little boy and his head shaking in the helmet, and like the helmet not moving when he's shaking his head because the equipment don't fit kids right. And he's like, "No." And then she's like, "Where does it hurt?" Without saying words, he pointed at his heart. The fact is, in life, your feelings gonna get hurt. And he was probably embarrassed. He was probably all that shit. But she shouldn't have been a comfortable place for him to say no punk ass business like that. Nobody should be. You'd be like, nigga, I'm good. Even if you're not good, I'm good. Fuck it, I'm gonna get up. I'm gonna see this nigga again. Like, that should have been the lesson right there for him. If she didn't come out of the stands, he would have had to address himself in that moment. Now, you being too hard. You being too rough. Man, that's crazy. No, I'm not going to tell other information that I know about the nature of that particular relationship. But what I will say is that general over mothering attitude is something that she really has to deal with now. Because now the boy is older and he's doing punk ass shit. And if that moment never happened, he might have a little more accountability rather than blame. This happened to me, save me. This happened to me, it's your fault. This happened to me. So you create a this happened to me ass nigga. And he knows that that relationship has not been changed significantly. So then he starts to look at the world like they did this to me. The nigga don't know how to get up and put dirt on it and keep it pushing. You know where I'm from. Oakland, California, that's where I'm from. Don't stop macking. Don't stop tapping. There's something about the 80s, definitely the 70s, but how you felt about it really didn't matter in the final equation. Like, there was a certain thing as cruelty. There was a certain thing as bullying and all that shit. But really, you had to fight the bully. If somebody is hitting you with jokes, and then I was so confused when they came up with the term shaming. I was like, what the fuck is shame? I could not understand it. Like, it ain't shaming if I'm not ashamed. Like, fuck it. I don't care. But that's not how things work now. But back then, it was like if somebody talks about you, either you don't trip off them or you talk about them back. So in Oakland, we called it capping. Like now they say cap is if you're lying to somebody. But back then, capping was like ranking, joning, playing the dozens, talking about somebody in a way where you're pulling their card and making them feel bad in a funny way. You can't even do that shit now. Coaches on teams, there's certain things that coaches on teams can't even say to people who play on teams because it is, I don't even know if this is the right word, but it's like defamatory. I probably fucked that all up. Come for me if you didn't like it, whatever. But it's certain shit you can't say. And even for that to be a play that exists where you can't talk about somebody or say something about somebody and it might be really trying to improve them. I mean, look at Lizzo. People was like, you fat and sloppy. And she got her shit together somewhat. Like if her point zero, her starting point was where she is now, she would have never got the fat Bama tag. But calling Lizzo a fat Bama got her in the gym. I bet she eating arugula instead of Cookie Crisp. Because she used to get on that joint talking about, I work out 5 days a week, I eat. You are lying like shit. But people let her have it. She kept coming for it and bow. It eventually improved her. Shaming proves people. It improves people eventually if you're made of something. And when it comes to moms, there's nothing like a mother's love. But some of that shit you be doing, he's my little king. He's my man. He's my You put this nigga in a seat he ain't fucking earned. This nigga ain't never had a dirty fingernail. This nigga ain't never had a scrape. This nigga ain't never did some shit he didn't tell you about because he could tell you everything because you make it fucking better all the time. And not even better, but you make it softer. There's something cute about that, but there's something extremely destructive about that. So then what happens? The boy begins to grow up. Mommy got him. This nigga ain't never had to catch the damn bus. This nigga don't know how to drive probably. This nigga ain't never had to save nothing. Nothing. He don't know how to clean up his own mess. Does he know how to clean the bathroom with his little shitty ass? No. He was never required to do anything. Does he know how to feed himself out of something that's not packaged? If you make it home late or if you got some other shit to do, does he know how to like turn that stove on and get something together? No. And then that boy grows up. Oh, Lord. The sins of the mother shall transfer to that boy's bitch. Is I'm lying? So, ladies, you are that boy's bitch, but from another mother. Follow me. Now, to all the wonderful queens out there, to all the women, this is not hating on you. This is just me showing you how some dudes that I know are lame as hell because of how they were mothered and how some women are experiencing a certain degree of loneliness right now because the dudes who they find need somebody to do motherly shit. Now the dude you might find a dude with bread, right? He might have made a couple moves and he might have money. The money don't pussify you. The money is the money. The money's not the man. So don't get that messed up. And guys, don't tap out and disqualify yourselves like you haven't been subjected to this just because your checking and savings look cool. Nah, it all depends on your accountability, your ability to outthink and outdo yourself from a situation that might be adverse, or how to treat others when things are good, how to maintain, lead, stay steady, how to have vision. Nigga, how to change a tire, nigga. how to change a motherfucking tire type shit. So the boy who gets babied grows up. When is he supposed to learn how to do these things if he's been pampered, pampered, pampered? At what age, time, moment, what's supposed to happen? When? It doesn't happen. So then you got this poisonous personality in population, and now he's leaning on friends and associates. He's pointing the finger eternally. Then he becomes self destructive because he wants attention and he doesn't know how to function. It's getting sad, it's getting dark. But it's true. In this planet of many billions, y'all know it's true. Y'all know it's true. And so in Washington, D.C., there are several upscale, well rounded black women. And for years, first of all, let me give y'all this. Yeah. And for years, I would be in circles where they'd be like, "You got any friends? Bring a friend. My girl needs a friend." It would be something. I ran out of, no, I don't have any friends. I don't. Because I don't want that dude on my record. Like, I don't want you to be like, "Man, what's up with this dude?" I don't want him to be on, hey, the homie ain't learned no manners, or he got a real nice car and he lives in a fucked up house. And another thing, your car and house got to match. Don't be out here tricking people with a car and then you pulling up to a fucked up living condition. You're not matching, and you're also fooling the women. And it's probably a woman helping you pay for that damn car note. That ain't it. But these are the women who the guys, these are the guys who the women have to pick from quite often. So I don't have friends. And then like the good guys got their hands full. And you have a population of these incel, weak, extremely lame, unsocialized men who do not take accountability for anything they do. And it's so weird how they can camouflage themselves. They're like the coronavirus. Like they camouflage themselves and they put on real nigga outfits. Some of them have nice business suits or whatever. It might have a briefcase. This dude over here, he might even have a hammer on his waist. They know how to camouflage their weakness until it's time to be accountable. And then they get to throwing tantrums and wham all over the place. And it's like, hold up. Sir, I'm not your safe space for this behavior. But oddly enough, his wife is. Damn. His mommy is. Y'all have pussified these men. And it doesn't benefit anyone. It does not even benefit the boy who grows into the man, who grows up confused. And he might be able to blend into these circles, but at the end of the day, it's in you or it's not in you. So you're probably wondering what the solution is because I pointed out the problem. Let's be solution based. Here's the solution. This is at least what was done with me, and this is what I did with my son. And we've ducked the Pxssyfication portal. Have your son have things that he has to do, and those things are where his level of commitment and his level of unselfishness and his level of how thorough he is will happen. And when I say things, I'm talking manual labor. Shit that your eyes can see, either it was there and it's not there no more, or it wasn't there and now it's there. Nigga, build something, clean up some shit. So the nicer the life gets, the weaker the people get. It's a saying. It's good times make weak people make tough times make strong people make good times. So it's like this cycle that happens. So A lot of the times, if you have it good, and I don't know where millennials, I mean, not millennials, Gen X, I don't know where we thought that this make it easy for the kid shit was cool. And then the millennials kicked in and then they got all the damn hashtags and terms about what you should and shouldn't do. And it's Gen Z is ruined. They're ruined. That's why they're getting raised by Elon Musk. Because people try to make it too damn easy and they don't even respect nothing. And not all Gen Zers, but you see what you see out there. You know what it is. You know what me chop ball. So with me and my son, this is a beautiful place to start. All right, shout out to Karate Kid. Um, have them do some manual shit, right? I don't care if it's nigga rake the leaves. I don't care if you can afford the landscape dude. The landscape dude, he got off for the week. The boy needs to learn how to rake some leaves because at the bottom of that pile of leaves, it's a lesson. If you live in a snowy area, nigga, go shovel the snow. Because at the bottom of that pile of snow, it's a lesson. You're going to learn so much about yourself. And then, so when you come outside and you see the leaves ain't all the way done, you point there. Look, that ain't done. What you doing? If you don't live anywhere where leaves fall and snow piles up, have him wash the car or cars. Don't have no streaks on the glass. Armor all better be on the tires. Man, let me check inside that door. Let me see if you vacuum that up. Like, he got to do something where you look at him and you say, oh, okay, you did that. Because in the process of doing those things, level of accountability, levels of self-respect start kicking in. I want everybody to know how to clean a bathroom too, if everybody use it. Like, so one lesson with my son, I would say, leave a room better than you entered the room. So that means off rip, when you wake up in the morning, your shit got to be together before you leave your room. Like, don't even trip off the house. Don't go into the room having made a mess and then go out to the world think you about to make it a better place. It's not going to happen because mentally you don't have the preparation to do such things. You have the preparation. You've prepared yourself even on a micro level to mess shit up and go do other shit. Mess shit up, go do other shit. Mess shit up, go do other shit. That happens physically and that happens relationship wise. So you might go in a room and people might be at peace and then you go in there and be like, you just disturb the peace and then you bounce or whatever because you're not conscious of, I'm going to complete this and make it better. And it really works. Just do it with yourself. Try a little experiment on yourself. Leave a room better than you entered it. It ends up doing this butterfly effect of making stuff way better. And then you start respecting yourself. And then once you start respecting yourself, you start being a little more, protective of your circle. And then you start looking at who can actually come into this space that I've created because I've actually respected this space. And then when you're around somebody who respects their space, like, you might leave and be like, man, I got to go step my shit up. And that person might never know that you were the influence for them to step their shit up. But they might go and be like, damn, it's the small details, but you got all the time in the world with yourself. Take care of it. Parents, make sure your sons, it's a whole nother thing for daughters and not a girl. I don't have a daughter. I'm not going to speak on that. But with the boys need accountability. Believe it or not, everybody who want to make everything so damn soft and wonderful. People, not just boys, not just men, but people gain this intangible integrity from being given responsibility and living up to it. I don't care who it is. You could give a junkie, you could give a child, you could give a king responsibility. And when they live up to it and be like, you could give a dog a thing. Like, here, go catch the tennis ball. When they come back with their head held high knowing they did it. So you don't build this kid up by not assigning shit. You don't build this kid up by finishing shit up for them. You don't build the kid up by going to check on them on the field. If a kid says he wants to play a sport or do some shit, then say, okay. Don't do all the filling out the papers and dropping the nigga off and buying the shoes and doing no, nigga, you need to sell some pizzas or you need to do some, you want those kind of shoes? Okay, then this is what you need to do to get them. And it's just too many people who are all fully laced up as boy children because usually the mom, now dads, this does not exclude you because if the mom is able to do this, it's your fault for witnessing the shit and letting it happen. But don't do all this stuff and then think that you've made a better fucking place. If nigga, if you're interested in something, do it. Do it. Figure out the train route, the bus route, do this, do it. What like who's giving who a ride? Do this. That shows the real interest. That's where it really starts. That now they got some skin in the game. Now they're less prone to quit. Because not only do they have to internalize the game they're gonna play, they got to internalize how they're gonna get to and from. That's a whole nother level of commitment. Listen. Times have changed. I don't know how or what or whatever, but when I was 8 years old, I wanted to play baseball. Now, my mother, I grew up in a good house, right? And I had family and all that. But that baseball shit was my decision. So, what my mother did help me with, she helped me with the bus schedule on how to get my 8-year-old ass to practice. I caught the B. The B took me down to I think the 40 or the 43, because the B took me down West Grand Ave. I got on West Grand and San Pablo. Now, mind you, San Pablo is where every hoe made her dollar. Shout out to the hoes. Oakland, California, that's where I'm from. Yeah. Catch that joint at San Pablo. Now I got my bag with my cleats and my glove. And I had a baseball bat, right? So at least I'd have some little defense if something tried to jump off. But shit, anybody with a baseball bat now is pretty well protected. Like any predator is gonna find easier prey than a kid with a baseball bat. I would sit in the front of the bus and I would ask the driver, like until I figured out how to do it. I asked the bus driver what stop I get off at, like where can you tell me where this street is? And the bus drivers always be like, yeah, sure, I'll tell you, you know. And so I caught the fucking bus to practice. Now I didn't catch the bus from practice, but because she would pick me up from practice because it would be late. But what this did, it allowed her to finish her work day. She didn't have to reschedule anything around my desire to play baseball. Simple little thing. But catching the bus became a major part of my life, whether it was to baseball, whether it's to my grandmother's house, whether it's to where I wanted to go meet up with friends, have a good time. And the bus stop ain't right in front of the house. Don't get that messed up. Nigga had to walk 20 minutes to the bus. But it was a cool ass walk. Like, you know, like you'd be surprised when you don't helicopter parent somebody what they get out of life. And the helicopter parenting, it creates crutches that will not always be able to be there or will not always want to be there. You don't want this 39-year-old dude in your basement talking about, Mom, the food ain't warmed up yet. What am I supposed to do? You don't want that. I don't care how much motherhood you stand behind and equal rights, feminism, men shouldn't have it all figured out. But you don't want that. And you especially don't want that from your male mate. So actually, when we're dealing with karma, if you create a boy like that, karma might bring you a mate like that. It ain't even no button to push on that. I'm going to let that sit for a minute. And we don't need these type of boys. They lead us to nothing. They lead us to follow fake leaders. They become fake leaders. Then these boys have daughters and sons, and then they teach some of that. And the daughter might be born with a little more intuition, but then she goes and overcompensates with the dude she dates. So then she finds like a wild animal who's definitely a protector, who's definitely like, this is on me, I got this. And this might be the dangerous nigga who you never wanted her to be around. So it all comes in that trickle down effect, and you create this toxic person. So people talk about toxic masculinity. This is toxic Pxssyfication. And I don't care how much you love your baby boy, you cannot build him like you're baking a pound cake. He's not going to get built. The switch will never hit if that's my little man. This is the love of my life. That's my, like some women damn near be playing it like their son is their boyfriend or some shit. And I'm sure that that confuses the boy. The mother might not be confused, but the boy is. And I've seen weird shit happen in like boys with in their 20s. Fuck boy, men like in their late teens and 20s where they're just like a little too close to their mom in a way that um it just doesn't seem developmentally healthy for that dude. And I don't know how a woman is going to enter that type of relationship with that boy who thinks he's his mom's boyfriend. It's very Freudian. Yeah, Freud had something to do with this. Freud broke this thing down. It was something like you see your mom as a sexual figure or some shit. R. Kelly had that same thing. He used to like said his mom used to take him to McDonald's, and I don't know how much she babied him, but when she would sip the coffee cup, her lipstick would be on it, and then he would like, I don't want to put no stain on his name that's already not there. But the nigga would do something like lick the lipstick on the cup because he thought his mom was so beautiful. It was some wild shit going on. And that's what happens when you make your fucking son your boyfriend and you make it so damn. Hugs, we need hugs. Conversation, we need conversation. But we do not need to be idolized by you, mom. We need you to be our damn one who assigns us to do shit in the making of us as a man. We need you to keep a certain standard of this is what a woman looks like. So get your own shit together instead of trying to make me cinnamon rolls every day. Like, don't be jumping in the lap of a weak ass dude and then you're showing me what men are acceptable to the woman who I know about. Because then that boy turns into that weak ass man. So, woman, you have to get yourself together to even build this nigga. You see what I'm saying? This is all freestyle, but it's off the heart. And so, last but not least, but last, this is why the NBA ratings have suffered. This is exactly why the NBA ratings have suffered. Because everybody's a pussy boy. And the fans tend to not like that. So I don't know how Gen X got so damn soft and started raising. Damn, was it Gen X? Yeah, because Gen X raised Gen Z. I don't know where the fuck the millennials came from. But that all that hashtag shit that y'all started about 10 years ago has fucked up everything. Now everybody's so damn sensitive. Then you have talented people. Now you have popular people thinking that talent don't matter. And then you just have all these unearned runs in life. Everybody is just coasting on something unearned to the point where others start to try to attain something unearned. And it all comes because mom ran down on the fucking football field and asked you, "Are you okay?" That's the genesis of this shit. If it's not the football field in another way, a a parent who wanted you to have like a soft experience, they came and they saved you. It could even be on some, you know what it is. Fuck, I don't even have to be creative with this. You know where you be on the bullshit. And then there's no correction. So like, yeah, be soft, soft, soft. But then where's your correction to make this person accountable? Where's your correction to send this person like, hey, you have to learn, like, where does it happen? Does it happen in the kid's 40s, 50s? Then you're risking it never happening. You may as well get that shit right at age 7. Because that's how mammals work. But this is how fucked up the NBA. Everybody wanted that dopamine hit of, ooh, it's a high scoring game. Nigga, I like defense. Shout out to defense. Defense wins championships. Am I right? I like defense. When somebody could put the clamps on somebody, the game gets interesting. I like that. You know, I thought Kobe, shit, at least 40% of Kobe's game was defense. He would be locking fools down, and that would get tenacious, and then he would make that funny face. He wouldn't make that funny face off his offense. He would make that funny face off his defense. You know, a defender, they grab their shorts, they get low, they slap the floor. Man, that's hard as fuck. That shit ain't in the NBA no more. It's not even in the game. So then all you have is like LeBron, man. That nigga didn't read Malcolm X, by the way. This nigga want to unearn credit. He didn't read Malcolm X, but you have LeBron and Joel Embiid and all these big husky ass DNA straight from Cameroon ass niggas crying, fucking crying, flopping, and then getting rewarded with the call. And then, so then the score is 130 to 141. And then do you think we entertained by that? Man, hell no. That is giving us donuts during the game. We don't want that. Let the best person win. Can somebody get a bloody elbow? You know, could somebody like get away with slapping somebody at one point? People like that shit. You think the UFC is popular because it's safe? No, we want to see people in physical form operating at their highest abilities. That's really the purpose of sports, to see people do shit that we can't do physically. So, nigga, if that means you jumped over this dude and smacked the ball and got in his face because you felt a little, we want to see that. We just don't want to see the ball go through the hoop. The ball go through the hoop. The ball go through the hoop. But everybody wants the soft space. So now you get to flop. Now you get to wear a damn purse to practice, and well, before the game, you get to wear your little pregame purse. Then you get to flop during the game. Then you get to pull a Jason Tatum after the game, copying a real nigga. Anything's possible. That was one of the weakest moments ever. Anything's possible. Nigga, leave that to KG. Leave that shit to the real niggas. Come up with your own expression. Shit. Then you got Drake trying to hit the Kobe pose next to the trophy. All this soft ass shit. And it all comes from running on the field during practice and things of that ilk. The boy not knowing how to make a meal for himself when he gets hungry, unless it's packaged. Type shit. And the general human genome is targeted for striving towards human excellence. That's why the UFC is growing in popularity and the NBA is shrinking in popularity, because we don't want to see this weak, unevolved, gimme nonsense. We don't want to see this. We don't. When I say we, I'm just talking about the general population who consumes competition and looks for greatness. It ain't great if you get to flop and point at the rules and say, he did something to me. That ain't fly. That's the accountability. That all starts at home. That switch gets flipped when you get like 7. Now, I think that LeBron, I don't know a lot about LeBron like that, but I think he had he didn't grow up easy. But he learned real quick what you could get away with in this society. And basketball, celebrityism is part of society that cannot be abandoned. And then that shit got contagious. And then he passed on the weakest gene to his son, Bronny. Like, what the fuck is this nigga on the court for? This nigga is fucking trash. He wouldn't be dominant in Oakland public school basketball tomorrow. He pussified his son. So here we are. Like, when is it gonna stop? Well, it's gonna stop naturally, because if you keep doing something, the earth strikes back. Spirituality strikes back. And you have this desert of dating for the women who decided to raise their sons like this. And several women's sons are out here dating several women's daughters. And that's the striking back because the women are unsatisfied because the boys are moist. Moist AF. They're humid. What's up with all these human niggas? That's what you creating, mom. That's my little king. That's my leave that shit to the grandmas. That's what grandmas are for. A grandma can dote and dote and dote. Moms need to be on assignment and task, building a motherfucker, shaping a nigga, make a nigga read, write an essay about how you feel. Something, shit, pick up the leaves. Nigga, it's messy outside. I didn't put that outside. Nigga, it's our house. Make it better. The fuck? How come we don't have the best house on the block? Nigga, make our shit look good. I'm busy paying for it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that mentality don't exist because the boy has so much on his mind. That nigga got gristle. He don't even have no damn mind yet. And now you leaving this to another woman to deal with. You leaving it to the NBA fans to catch the wrath of this. We love you, moms. And we don't have to wait till Mother's Day to say it. We do. That was a long round of applause for the moms. We love y'all. But y'all gotta stop pouring that boy's cereal. Y'all better cut that out, man. It is causing something awful. So, long story short, assign responsibility to an individual. An individual will eventually begin to assume responsibility. The responsibility that individual assumes will become their way. That way will bleed off into the community. The world will become a better place. It's surprising, but that's cash talk. So, if you understand what I'm saying, apply it. If you don't understand what I'm saying, run it back. Show up in the comments with all feelings and baggage. But for right now, I got to go feed myself. I got to go do some things. But I appreciate everybody who tuned in for this episode of Sorry for My Language. And this is our new exit. Enjoy your family. Happy holidays. Subscribe. Share. We out.